like I'm meant to strike. Flat earth beneath my feet, knowing I'm here to meet. Ocean's edge, it calls my name. Purpose in this life's game. Horizons line so clear, God's love brings me near. Flat earth made by him, my journey long yet thin. Purpose found in every day, guided by his gentle sway. Mountains tall, they stand in place.
What's up, yo, Flo? It's good to see you all. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you could make it. We are joined by Jeff, Roger, and PJ. I hope you're all doing well.
Yo.
Certainly
All
are.
good, sir?
Yo.
All good.
But it's good to see you guys. I'm glad you could make it. Thank you all for coming. Tonight's going to be exciting because we actually have a flat earther we're reviewing today.
Cool. Oh, so he's a flat earther. Cool.
Yeah, definitely. I only watched his part 2, though. I haven't watched the part 1, which we're going to go through now.
Right.
Hopefully we get through it, that we can get part 3 too as well. But he's researched flat earth for 3 years trying to debunk it. And he came to the conclusion it's flat.
Nice. Because when you because of the title of it, no, on your thumbnail, sorry, it says research flat earth for 33 years. I actually put in the chat earlier that well, he should be a flat earther by now then, but obviously he is. So
Yep.
fair play.
Nice.
He's still got quite a small channel, but his videos has quite these 2 videos that he's put out actually has quite a few thousand views, so that's quite good. I will stick his link in if you guys want to go and subscribe to him. Definitely go and support him. There is his link. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's going to be exciting. There's not going to be much other than, we'll probably do just a lot of agreeing with the guy. Practically. But I find it very interesting, especially with part 2 that I watched, with the because he brought a lot of the math up and everything and showed this doesn't make sense.
Hey Neil, how you
Because-
doing, man? I think Neil's in the
Oh yeah, he's in the backup channel. Yeah, Neil, you're in the backup channel, mate.
I'll go and put the link.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's good to see you
Well,
all,
looks like
guys.
Sandra
Please- Yeah. Sandra's also there. Anyway, we got 22 votes already. The Earth is observed to be a stationary enclosed plane. 55% say yes, no 45%, and I'm not sure 0%.
Well, we already know how skewed that is with all the anti-flat earthers coming in there. So it's probably more like, I would say 70-20.
Well, I would be interested to know is if they say no, where do we observe Earth movement? Where do we observe curve? Where do we observe anything the globe claims?
I know.
I don't. There he is.
Really odd. Okay, let's go on. So this guy, he's from Hungary.
Right.
I do think he is into like weird spiritual stuff though, so that's the only thing that I can criticize him on because
Yeah.
But other than that, he seems like a great guy. He seems like he's looked into this and he seems humble, to understand what's going on.
Most of us, a lot of us got to come to Flat Earth. Usually, a lot of us came to it through the 200 Proofs with Eric DeBay and Flat Earth Proofs, and he's into weird spiritualism, Western bloody New Age stuff. But when it comes to Flat Earth, he knows what he's talking about. When it comes to faith, not a clue. He hasn't got a clue. So, it's all good.
Exactly. Okay. But guys, I want you specifically to listen to what he talks about and how he says, this is why I like it so much.
I wanted to prove once and for all that the flat earth theory is stupid and it makes no sense, but I failed at every step. I've done my research for over 3 years. I saved and I documented everything, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I found. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, his channel's name is Mystery Teaching. So if you guys I did put the link in, and he is tagged in the description, so you're able to get his channel through there as well.
So let's do that now.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you've got the Cosmos there on the thumbnail. It's used.
There we go. Sub. Stubby.
Yeah.
Flat Earth is the #1 conspiracy theory in the world. That's the mother of all conspiracies. And what I always thought that it's stupid, first of all, and second, I thought that the bad guys, those who are responsible for all the other conspiracies, they invented this theory so they can ridicule all the other conspiracy theories. Does that make sense? So I always thought that it's stupid because it sounds stupid, right? We know we live on a globe, but it always came back to my life and I saw it here and there. So I decided that I'm gonna end this debate once and for all. I'm gonna prove the globe and we can forget flat earth theory once and for all. But as I said, I failed. I was never
I find that quite interesting because that is practically what everybody tries and does,
In
and
general,
we usually come to the same conclusion.
that's it. Most people come into flat Earth because it's like, what? Don't be silly. I need to prove this wrong. You know what I mean? I mean, I didn't go in with that in my head, but I mean, in the back of the head, it might have been there somewhere. But yeah, a lot of people come in that way, don't they? Yeah, I've got to prove this wrong, and they can't. They can't.
Yeah, and I think that's when you get faced with it, you got to make a choice. Are you going to be, humble yourself and just take, okay, maybe you were wrong, or are you going to just become sort of anti-flat eartherish and just, fight against it because you want to be part of the consensus, you want it to be real.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
You can start your own YouTube channel and call yourself something, and fight the flat Earth. Make money out of it.
Yeah, that's what I said. You can make good money off of just fighting flat Earth.
Not mentioning any names.
a flat earther. I always believed in the globe and I even used the globe as a thumbnail for some of my previous videos. As I said, I researched it for over 3 years. I had a lot of questions, I'm sure you have too, and as I said, I documented everything that I found. So I'm not here to tell you whether the earth is a globe or it's flat. I'm here to show you exactly what I found during my research and you can decide for yourself. Fair enough? Yeah. Welcome to Mystery Teachings. My name is Gergő. If you are new...
But that's interesting though, because he did say in the beginning he tried to debunk the flat earth and he fell at every... So by default he's already showing it's flat.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I like how he said that. Look, I'm not here to tell you that it's a globe. I'm not here to tell you it's flat. I'm here to tell you this is what I found when I researched it. Good way. That's a good way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Honest, that's what that is. That's what I think.
Of course.
Yeah. And it's good that he documented it all. So it also shows he's being honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
The channel, then greetings and namaste, or if you are a returning beautiful soul, hey, thanks for coming back, I appreciate you. Before I started this whole investigation, I knew one thing. If I want to get a clear picture of what's going on and which side is true, I need to put aside everything that I think, I believe, or I feel about the earth, and in this case the globe itself. So it doesn't matter how stupid I think flat earth is, I need to be open-minded, and I promise myself that I'm gonna look at both sides with an open mind. I just step aside and I look at it as an observer. And that's
and that's exactly why you get anti-flat earthers there. They don't do that. No. They look at flat earth, but they don't actually look at it with an unbiased deduction. They've already made up their mind that it is a globe. No matter what we presented, it will stay a globe to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tell you what, when he got it this morning and we picked that shirt out, he was thinking hard, though, wasn't he?
It stands out. Definitely, it stands out.
He says, I want to look like lava trickling down the mountain.
He's an Icelander.
But yeah. But I think I would love to actually have a discussion with this guy. I think it'll be an interesting thing.
Absolutely.
We should say hi.
Exactly what I'm asking from you as well. Put aside everything you believe and let me take you to a journey that you have never been before. And even though we have a lot of photos and videos of the Earth, and this is the first thing that we learn as a child, as soon as we're born, the first thing we know that we live on a globe. I know, but still, what made me start this journey in the first place was the fact that the number of people who believe in flat Earth is growing massively.
You heard that? Growing massively. What are the top anti-flat earthers on YouTube saying to everyone?
It's dying. It's
Flat
dying.
Earth's dying.
Dying completely. It's been dying since 2015, since it started. You know? It'll never take off. Flat Earth will never take off. Oh yeah, it took off a little bit, but it's dying. Oh, it's took off even more, but it's still dying. Oh, lots of people believe in it, but it's dying.
Yeah, it's weird.
That was the Fisher Price globe, wasn't it? Did you see that back there? Go back a little bit. You'll see the globe with the push buttons on it. It was strange looking. Yeah, I have never seen one of those.
Oh, did I tell you? I presented it this morning. Sorry, this is earlier in my stream that on my Rumble channel, I realised that I went up one follower to 21 followers, and I seen who it was. It was bloody Brenda Debates, and I showed it earlier on Brenda Debates. Now Brenda would whinge at this if we had the opposite, but the Brenda Debates avatar on Rumble is a woman smacking a guy over the face, socking him right in the face. Now, if that was us doing it the other way around, you know what I mean? They would have something to say about it, you know? But that's Brenda's avatar in Rumble. A woman socking a guy right in the face. Comic strip style, you know what I mean? But still, that's saying something.
Gotta look at that channel now. Thanks.
Even the media reported it. Check this out.
The round or spherical Earth theory is propagated by some conspiracy.
And the number of people who think so is growing. Thousands, if not millions of people believe the world is flat.
And it's the subject of tonight's special report. WCIA3's Aaron Eads is here with us now. And Aaron, as far as conspiracy theories go, flat Earth theory is actually getting pretty popular.
Yeah, believe it or not, the number of people who believe the Earth is flat is actually growing. Scientists might have an idea of why that is, and it's worth talking about. And what better place to do so than
I
one
love
of
that. Scientists might have an idea why that's happening.
Why? Why would that happen?
Well, what has science got to do with what a person believes?
I know. I mean, why would what a person believes? I mean, totally. I don't think science does. Pseudoscience.
See, that's the thing. But you see, that's the thing they do, though, especially with the media. If they place the word scientists, then it means it's got authority.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I noticed that Brenda didn't have any videos to Rumble at all. I didn't see her anything on her channel. She's like, why would you have a channel with nothing on it?
It's a him.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to let you know, it's a him.
Okay.
And he knows it.
Yep. And he won't admit it, will he?
No.
What is there to be ashamed of?
places in the country right here in central Illinois. But there are ideas that this is a sham. NASA, a fraudulent organization bent on siphoning your tax dollars. The moon landing didn't happen.
Those iconic blue.
Okay, the moon landing didn't happen. You don't have to be a flat earther to say that. There's a lot of globers out there that disagree with the moon landing too.
Absolutely. I mean, that was one of the first things for me. I was like still a glober while I believed the moon landing happened. I still believed you could get that. I just believed it hadn't happened. You know, I just believe they faked it. So you don't have to be a flat earther for that. There's plenty, like you say, of globers that believe that. Absolutely loads.
It was filmed in my backyard, by the way.
Oh, really?
Blue marble images seen from space, fakes.
You start seeing words like composite or animation or something that tells you this is not an actual photograph. of the Earth.
The biggest concern with the flat Earth movement is how fast it's gaining steam. Scientists are worried that flat Earth could become a political issue like climate change, vaccination, or evolution. Guys?
All right, fascinating stuff. All right, Aaron, thank you.
Very interesting.
So, according to Forbes, only 2/3 of American millennials believe the Earth is round. In other words, in the age group of 18 to 24, 1/3 of American young people believe the Earth is flat.
And that's only in America, guys.
Yeah, but I want to know where they get these statistics from, man. I'm gonna be honest. Nobody asked me nothing, dude.
Yeah, it's mostly sucked out of their thumbs, though. But
Of course.
they can't interview everybody. They interview a large number, but yeah, it's usually done over the internet, though.
Yeah, of course.
So that's interesting. And if we look at here in Britain, 3 in 100 Britons think the Earth is flat, and 1 in 20 say the theory is probably, but not definitely, false. And guys, first, I was in the definitely false category. I was in that 88%. But as I said, once I researched it, everything changed. So first, when you hear about flat Earth, you really ridicule it, but once you research it, that's a different story, and I'm gonna show you why.
Exactly.
So basically, it's saying 3% of Britain believe in flat Earth. That's quite a big number, I think. That's quite a big number.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely.
3% is still a large number. If you take what 3% from, I mean, how much? Do you guys are like at least 10 million?
Well, I think there's 7 million in London alone, so yeah, probably a little bit more than that. Let's just check.
Yeah, so it's quite a big number, and that's just in Great Britain alone. So, I mean, look at what they said in, I think it was like 2020, where in Brazil it was like 11 million flat earthers.
68.3 million.
Yeah,
in the UK.
so it's a big number.
Yeah.
I think most Globies don't actually look into the topic at all. To be honest with you, they just go with it like, oh, he said it was flat.
But like he said, this is what he said. When you first look into it, you're there to ridicule it because you think it's dumb.
Yeah.
And if you research it honestly, you realize, oh, it's not so dumb. But the issue is you get a lot of people that have cognitive dissonance, and they want the globe to be real so bad that they just ignore what they've researched.
Exactly.
It goes in here and goes out that side.
Aye. Hey, Professor Harvester, I heard that Alan Nostrand's looking for you, dude. Peeved off for you, really peeved off for you, dude.
Are you starting something, PJ?
So put these statistics into a different perspective. Basically, millions of people in the world believe that the Earth is flat. At this point, I want to hear their story. I want to know why. And I have a lot of questions. I'm an intelligent guy, so it's going to be very difficult to convince me that the Earth is flat. So you need to be very, very good with their explanations and with their reasons if they really want to convince me about this. Now, if anyone wants to research flat Earth, the first thing you probably do is go on Google, which is a big mistake and it's a dead end. And let me show you why. These are the images that Google will show you that flat Earth is. But I can tell you after my research that this is stupid. I thought the same at the beginning. I mean, this is what flat earthers believe.
But even now, we also think this is ridiculous. And the more we tell the anti-flat earthers, please stop using this as your straw man against flat earth, the more they use it.
Yep. Chocolate chip Earth. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Chocolate chip Earth.
I mean, it's not hard to understand. There is no floating disc in space. No one believes this. So it's quite
even
interesting.
Add the tilt. That's weird.
Even add the tilt, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, remember when I was like discussing with Kent last night, and we were talking about the axis?
Yeah.
It's exactly that. They require that access for that axis of rotation for, and yeah, he wanted to base gravity onto the flat Earth as well, and so, well, you see, with gravity, therefore, it won't work on the flat Earth. So this is one thing I've seen though with all globers. They assume the default is the globe. So everything that has to work, they're comparing it to the physics and everything of the globe and saying, well, it doesn't work, yeah, so therefore it can't be right. So they're putting gravity automatically onto a flat Earth. They're putting the flat Earth automatically into space. You see, things like that. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's the way they think of the universe. It has to be that way from the birth of the universe, the Big Bang. It doesn't fit at all. Creation doesn't have anything to do with the Big Bang. They need to look at the actual context of the Bible and other texts that actually describe something different and go from there.
Yeah. Godzilla, I just want to say thank you very much for gifting 5 memberships level. Woohoo, you rock. Really appreciate it, man. Appreciate all the support. You are awesome. Guys, please hit the likes. Share the show. Really do appreciate you guys. We only have 19 likes, but 52 people watching. How's that working? Come on.
No, I just said that. Smack the like option. Do it. It doesn't hit back. Come on.
It really helps the channel, guys. It really does.
I didn't realize I was already subscribed to Neil's channel already. I went over there to subscribe to him. Yeah.
That this is absolutely rubbish, but this is not. This has nothing to do with the flat earth movement, I can tell you that. Or what you will find is these images that, you know, ships are getting to the edge and they just fall off the edge. You've probably seen many of these images before. So this is not true. No flat earth researcher thinks this. This is bullshit. This is propaganda. This is not real. Now, the other thing you will definitely find if you search for Flat Earth is the Flat Earth Society. Now, this was started by a guy called Leo Ferrari, and first it was called the Flat Earth Society of Canada, and then they made it simple just by...
But you see, he's saying the same thing, so... I mean, this is what we've always realized. That's why we say you do get controlled opposition. And the fact that you have controlled opposition shows that it's a threat.
Flat Earth Society quote. Yeah, Flat Earth Society's got new members all over the globe.
I've heard that.
Wow. It's a joke.
Yeah, no. The whole thing's a joke, it seems like to me. Like the whole society was meant to just demean everybody. All these people are idiots over here.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's an understatement.
I want to know what overstatements are.
Calling the Flat Earth Society, and basically this is controlled opposition. This is propaganda. So they give you some truth, but they show you footages like this, and they tell you that the flat earth disk is accelerating upwards in space, and obviously you will think it's stupid. So the Flat Earth Society again has nothing to do with the real flat earth movement. And there's
and the sad thing is, though, you do get flat earthers that push this upward rising earth.
Yeah, and then it kind of almost still makes it look dumb. And the fact that they actually I don't know the word, subscribe to that kind of information is just beyond me.
But I mean, do you see how these upward rising earthers are literally pushing flat earth society, and they're helping the narrative of pushing flat earthers down.
Yeah,
it's not dumb. It isn't.
They're making a mockery of the truth.
Of course not. I mean, look at Dell. That's where Dell is getting some of his info from. You know what I mean? This is what he's elaborating on. Some of what they believe. Oh, well, alleged to believe. Sorry.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you very much, Roger, for gifting a membership. Really appreciate it, man. You rock. Thank you very much.
I was hoping Neil would get that. Neil always is begging for memberships, man. Where's mine at? Hope he gets it.
No,
I
he
appreciate
didn't.
it, man.
Unfortunately, Wyatt did.
Yeah, Wyatt got it. But I appreciate it, man.
No problem.
There's a lot of propaganda around Flat Earth. We're going to discuss much more about that. The question for now is why. But basically, just to clarify this whole thing, we have two Earth models that we talk about. One is the heliocentric model, the other is the geocentric model. The heliocentric model, what we know today, is that the sun is the center of the universe and all the other planets, including the Earth and everything else, moves around the sun. Whereas the geocentric, aka flat Earth model, that's where the Earth is the center of the universe. The Earth is stationary, it's not moving, just as we feel it. And then the sun, the moon, and the stars and everything else rotate around us in the sky, just as we see it. But for now, I just want you to understand that.
Yeah, I love that. Just as we see it. Exactly. We don't see us moving. We see the luminaries in the sky move.
Yeah.
So that's what we observe. We observe the sky moving, not us.
They spend a lot of time trying to make us move, haven't they? And a lot of money and a lot of the so-called experiments that don't really prove anything, but they keep coming back with it. It's got to be. We're moving. I don't know. I don't understand.
We have to be.
We have these two models, the heliocentric and the geocentric. And when you see images like this, that's basically mixing up the two. So zero flat earthers believe in this bullshit. This is not real. This is created by the media and others who want you to think that flat earth is stupid.
Amen.
And when celebrities or politicians talk about flat earth, they will always mention the Flat Earth Society again, because they want you to look at their website. This is how they mislead you, and this is how they deceive you, just like Barack Obama did. He mentioned the Flat Earth Society many, many times.
They've been talking down new sources of energy. They dismiss wind power. They dismiss solar power. They make jokes about biofuels.
You know, that's so funny though. That's so laughable. Dismiss solar power. Has anybody in the flat earth ever dismissed solar power?
No, but Dave, Flat Earth Dave actually sold solar power. I don't understand that. That's how he made his money. Yeah. Solar power doesn't work good. We deny it.
Why would you deny solar power?
Yeah, but you know what I find odd about that? Flat earthers are more for self-sustainability than globers.
Absolutely.
So we would all love to be self-sustainable if we could. That means solar power, wind power, the biofuels, which he's literally saying flat earthers are against.
Well, I'm against those windmill farms. 100%
Yeah,
against.
to an extent. Yeah, but he's saying like, okay, I would say yes, wind farms I wouldn't really agree with because it does more harm than make anything else. It takes a lot of space and money to do. But the idea behind it works. But he's making it sound like, just like they call all flat earthers science deniers, which is not true. They try and rope us into all the negativity. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
They try and make us look like, oh, these guys are so dumb. They don't want to accept anything for what it is. They're just anti-science, anti-forward progression. You know what I mean?
They always have to use the word anti against, like, as and then it's not even the opposite of what they're actually stand for. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good.
So it's definitely projection, is what you're saying. They're projecting their anti-ism on us.
They were against raising fuel standards. I guess they like gas guzzlers. They think that's good for our future. We're trying to move towards the future. They want to be stuck in the past. And we've heard this kind of thinking before. Let me tell you something. If some of these folks were around when Columbus set sail, they must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round.
See how ridiculous that is.
Yeah. Yeah, why are they all laughing though when he said it? That's the first reaction you got to look at the audience. They're all smiles and laughing.
Mm-hmm. But you see, painting flat earthers as degenerates. They just want to go backwards and don't want to move with times. You know what I mean? We just we want to go back to cave mentality. No, that's not it. And then insulting, obviously. So yeah, it's odd that you had to get the then that time president of America that literally has to go and speak out and insult flat earthers live, and they say flat earth doesn't matter.
Aren't they the ones that push caveman? They're the ones in the evolution, not us. We're not
Yeah,
evolving.
but look at it this way: if flat earth was so insignificant and dumb, why would everybody be talking against it? Why would everybody be going out their way to try and insult and to try and ridicule flat earth? If it was so dumb and insignificant, you would just leave it alone. But they don't.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah.
They want to be more intelligent, I think. They want to feel superior to people, and that's they're projecting that on to people who look into the topic. It's a scary opposite.
But you see, Roger, a lot of the time, these people can't accept the people they think are stupid and dumb have more logic than they do.
Yeah.
They don't want to accept this.
And it comes with a lot with the education system. It's just what they're taught, and the way it's ridiculed, even in the education system. But then when you actually get down to the debates with professors and stuff, you'll find out they're not that intelligent at all. As a matter of fact, they've built themselves up by reading and studying topics that they think are right, but they're mostly theories.
Yeah.
That's what I get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a belief.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
Well, what about the scientific support that seems to notion that it's not round?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I don't like the word round because flat Earth is also round.
Yeah.
So this is why I say it's deniable plausibility. So they're saying it's round for if, let's say, it does come out, okay, yeah, it's flat, guys. They say, but yeah, we never said it wasn't flat. You see, when it says round, that's still flat. You guys just don't understand.
Yeah. I'll never understand.
Your mic's gone really quiet, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, I think he's away from his mic a bit.
Is that what it is? It's very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's always too far away from his mic. It's not very loud.
There, I got an idea.
In other breaking news, the world is round, not flat.
Now that we clarified all this with the Flat Earth Society and why they talk about it, let's move on to YouTube, because Google is not the only one who will feed you with stupidity. YouTube is the other one, and this lady is the head of public policy on YouTube, and she went to Congress the other day and they talk about how to censor conspiracy theorists. So check this out, and after we will discuss it further.
Does Google think that this is a problem, and what is the solution that you're coming up with to address it?
Thank you for the question. So as you noted, when Alex Jones posted the video you described saying that the survivors of the Parkland massacre were crisis actors, that violated our harassment policy. We have a specific policy that says if you say a well-documented violent attack didn't happen and you use the name or image of survivors or victims of that attack, that is a malicious attack and it violates our policy. In terms of conspiracy theory content generally, our goal is to promote authoritative content to our users. So we have two principles that guide the way here. That's the first one, is we want to provide users with authoritative, trustworthy information.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I only have a minute and a half, and I don't really need to hear what you're trying to provide. I want to know how you're dealing with all these conspiracy theorists on your platform.
So the first way is by demoting low-quality content and promoting more authoritative content.
See, first way is demoting. So So why are they demoting flat Earth content? Oh, because it's not authoritative according to her.
According to just
their opinion.
Yeah.
So not because it's false, it's because according to them, it's not authoritative. So they don't want it to be shown. Why? Because it is a threat to the truth. It's a threat to what they believe in. So the truth is scary for them. But also remember, they can't just ban all flat earthers and all that because it goes against a lot of rights. So the only thing they can do is shadow ban us. And they're very open about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there a big fear about not being able to get off the Earth? Is that what it really boils down to? Like, we can't hop to another planet because, you got to face everything here. Is that what it is?
I think a lot of the time it just stems to they got to admit that at the end of the day, it shows a creator and we're all here for a purpose. And they've been lied to their whole life. People don't like to be to hear they've been lied to, and everything they've taught is wrong. They don't like that.
Most people become very upset and angry when something that has been told to them, and it makes them look like a fool for believing that part. So then they take that part that they were believing and they stand even firmer on it, right?
Yep.
And the second is by providing more transparency for users. So we're introducing boxes that provide factual information at the top of results that have shown themselves to turn up a lot of information that is counterfactual, such as searching for the Earth is flat on YouTube, where you see a lot of...
Your response is to put a box saying, nope, the Earth is not flat.
Correct.
Okay.
And this is one
You see. So the response is, no, just putting a box that says, no, the Earth is not flat. And that's after demoting them, so not presenting them to a wider audience.
It reminds me when ODD went on the news here in Denver. At the end of their rebuttal, they just said the Earth is ball, and that was it. That was their rebuttal. That was the end of it. They didn't say anything else.
That was a good rebuttal. Good rebuttal. I mean,
did you guys hear about Conspiracy Music Guru? What he's done?
Go on.
Yeah, he's no longer going to be on YouTube. He's only going to be on Patreon.
Oh, is he off YouTube now?
Yeah, because he's had like 2 videos in the last week removed.
But it's his own content.
Yeah, exactly. But they keep removing it.
Wow,
for some
that's quite
sort of violation, but they don't tell him what the violation is.
Hmm.
And then all of his community posts get removed, and so.
Yeah, that's so fair, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it's because it's probably because of his name. Probably in general because his name. It's got conspiracy in it.
No, the thing is because he's got quite a large following, and they can't let him have a large following, can they?
No, of course not.
When you make videos that say NASA's gay, I mean that'll make them mad.
Mm-hmm.
Example of these boxes with information she was talking about, but my question is that if flat earth is stupid, if it's false and it's a conspiracy theory, then why do they need to discuss it in Congress? And furthermore, why do they need to censor it? So if we all know that we live on a globe, why do I need a box to tell me that don't believe flat earth because we live on a globe?
Exactly.
You see my problem here? And this is what YouTube tells you about these little information panels or boxes when you search or watch videos related to topics that are prone to misinformation, such as the moon landing. You may see an information panel at the top of your search results or under a video that you're watching. Information panels show basic background info sourced from independent third-party partners to give more context on a topic. If you want to learn more, the panels also link to the third-party partner's website. So you see these panels at all the flat earth.
Yeah, all these things. It's literally just an extra fail set that they put on to insult flat earthers because they don't believe in the heliocentric model.
And they link it to a crap website, Wikipedia.
Well,
That's insane.
Here in America, they say you have a freedom of religion and freedom to believe things, but obviously they're going to make
basically, and you will probably see it.
Oops.
That's all right. It slipped. Yeah, they don't give you the freedom they claim you get. So.
Yep. Alan says he clicked twice. If you click twice, click it again so it goes on, man.
Yeah, how come it's you were loud?
Under this video as well.
Sorry?
I'm just saying he was like quite. Roger's quite loud at the beginning of the stream. Now he's very low. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Probably my internet. I got my volume all the way up now.
Is it? I mean, the sound perfect. It's just low. It's not like it's crap quality. It's just low.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Here, I'll put it right up here. How is this? Is that a lot better? Am I loud
No.
enough?
It's a bit.
Yeah. It's got to have to do, I suppose.
Well, or under my series, but this is when it gets more weird with YouTube, because there was this article and I heard this from different sources that YouTube promises to stop recommending Flat Earth and 9/11 truther videos. But why would they stop recommending it if it's stupid, you see? And that's not only what they do. Here is someone commented on Eric Dubé's channel.
This happens a lot. We keep getting unsubscribed from channels.
Yep.
People keep getting unsubscribed automatically from me too, and then later on come and say, well, I never got notifications for you because I just got unsubscribed for no reason. It happens so much.
They own you, don't they? They act like they own you so they can do whatever they want to with your content.
They mess with us all the time. I mean, even the comment section, people's comments get removed or it doesn't show, or I mean, even if I want to put comments sometime, it just doesn't want to work. They definitely do mess with the Flat Earth channels.
Sure do.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of the Flat Earth guys and he educates people about Flat Earth, and this commenter says that YouTube unsubscribed me from your channel, keep telling the truth. So it's not only information boxes and not only stop recommending the Flat Earth videos, but they even unsubscribe people from Flat Earthers channels. So YouTube creators are really censored when it comes to Flat Earth. Yep. And I'm not sure how much effect this series will make on my channel, on Mystery Teachings, but I really don't care because I'm on YouTube, I'm on BitChute, I'm on Rumble, so I'm gonna make this series anyway, no matter what effect it will make on my channel, but I hope it will be okay. Now let me show you a clip from BBC, and I want you to pay attention to a couple of things. And guys, in this first part, I really just want to show you how I started to research this whole topic and all the dead ends I found, so you can see the difference between fake news and propaganda and real information and, you know, true information. So BBC, they have a report on Flat Earth, and I want you to pay attention to a few things. One is the music. They play a really silly music which will subconsciously give you an idea already that this is something you shouldn't take seriously. It's about a Flat Earth conference. And the other thing is they show...
Yeah, because they try and make it as a joke. So they set the stage as Flat Earth's just nonsense.
Yeah, and they will continue to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that'll change. If we can get a hold of the media and get them by the short hairs, we can get them to change. If we actually hit them where their pocket hurts, they'll stop buying products from.
The problem is they got a lot of deep pockets.
Yeah. How do you reach
you people in weird shoes, and then they interview a guy who look really weird and really mad and really crazy. So again, to give you an idea that Flat Earther equals madness and craziness. So this is how the propaganda machine works and fake news works, but here is the clip and you decide for yourself.
Unfortunately, I might just, because it's BBC, I'll rather just forward it.
Yeah, I guess you don't want.
Yeah,
you don't want to get a strike on it.
So I'll rather just forward it, guys, because you understand what the BBC does to me.
Of course.
Not okay. Now let's see what a stand-up comedy guy say about Flat Earth.
Yeah, have you seen this? I remember this.
Yeah.
And this is happening more and more. They making fun of Flat Earth. It's just a comedy show.
We do have.
I was watching a documentary recently about flat earthers that was fascinating. I don't know if anybody saw this. There are people who believe the earth is flat. The documentary is called Assholes.
Again, just because someone believes something else, why do you need to talk about them like this? They call them assholes. For what reason? Someone has a different belief than you, so what? Why is it such a big deal? But anyway, let's see a different example from a TV show. It was some kind of a game, and we will discuss it after. Check this out.
In the Middle Ages, what shape did people think the world was?
Flat.
I know we all think they did, but there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever. They all thought it was round. They all wrote about it as round. The Greeks thought it was round.
And you know that's false.
Wow, that's so bad because Stephen Fry is such a clever guy. For him to take part in propaganda like that when he knows he's got plenty of knowledge, he would know that that's not true. He would know that's not true. He's a clever guy, so he's taking part in propaganda.
Apparently
But they love pushing this false information, saying, "Oh no, it's always been seen as round," blah blah blah. No.
Wow.
Even Jimmy Carr got involved in it too. He makes jokes about it. I thought he was actually a flat earther when I first saw him by some of his comments, but then he goes back and he doubles down. It's not, mainstream comedians don't like it, but there's a few comedians like JP Sears over here. He's actually a flat earther. He's funny to a point. Yeah. He's more political than anything else.
Round and flat? No, they thought it was a sphere. The Greeks knew it was round, he says. Chaucer knew it was round. Roger Bacon wrote about the curvature of the earth in the 13th century. You see, almost no one in the history of the world has believed that the earth is flat.
Now, this guy is a liar, and I have multiple...
Yeah, he's a liar, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. He's a liar, and he knows he's a liar because he's a clever guy. Studies a lot, that dude, so he knows that's not true. He knows it's not true.
He's actually just saying that someone is clever. I don't think he is. I think
he's got a lot. He's got a lot of information. He studies a lot. Like the people on the game shows. I can't remember. They've got a lot of information, they study a lot. So they've read a lot of books to see what's in the books. He's read that much. He would know that the earth it would have at one point been flat. Clever, that's objective, I suppose. But yeah, he would have known that the earth, people would have definitely thought the earth was flat. He'd know that. Because he studies a lot. That's what I should say, he studies a lot.
Well, the media hasn't ever been really honest.
Multiple reasons to say that. And guys, I just quickly want to debunk this part because a lot of people say and think and believe that flat earth is something that just appeared a few years ago on YouTube and on social media. That is not true. First, I remember that I learned in school that indeed people believe the earth is flat, like a century ago, 2 centuries ago, or whatever, even ancient civilizations, which we're gonna call.
Yeah, I remember when a lot of the time now today they like saying, "Oh, they never taught Columbus right." Excuse me. Tried to prove it's flat, so. But many people can remember in school that's what they taught. Now today they say no, that's never been taught.
So do you believe your teachers? Because they keep changing their freaking minds, don't they?
Yeah, they can change what they want. They can change their textbooks. They can change the narrative. That doesn't mean what they taught you then is the same that what they're teaching now.
That's it.
So they don't
Yeah, he's definitely a known atheist, Mr. Chezek. Stephen Fry, definitely a known atheist.
Yeah, well, that would explain it.
Covering this series later in our journey. Now the other thing is I want to show you a clip of an interview with a lady who is over 100 years old and she remembers learning in school that the earth is flat. Check this out.
Right.
Tell me your name.
Ruth Heath,
Ruth, and how old are you today?
102,
102. So you were born in
1918.
1918. And we were just talking, and I asked you what shape the Earth is, and what did you say? What were you taught in school in elementary school?
I was taught in school that the Earth was flat.
And then what do you remember when they changed it to a globe?
Well, when they changed it, I remember when they changed it, but I can't remember the date or anything like that.
And did you believe them?
Yes, I did.
You did. Now,
I was young.
Right, and we all were told by people that we trust.
That's right.
Where did you go to school? Elementary school.
I went to Spurglen School in Hamden, Connecticut.
Okay, now the other thing is the famous astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm sure you heard about him. Even he tells you that indeed people in the past believed the Earth is flat. Check.
Yeah. By the way, people don't like Neil deGrasse Tyson, specifically anti-flat earthers. Every time we bring Neil deGrasse Tyson up, they seem to want to throw him under the bus.
Yeah. And that makes me wonder about my grandparents, what they taught them, because they're about Ruth's age when the same time when they got taught the same thing.
Yep.
And my grandparents never pushed a globe down my throat like, oh, by the way, you live on a ball. They never was brought up in conversation at all. Never was even talked about. Strange.
Yep.
The sound of crickets.
Check this out.
You're not a climate scientist, but you're a very distinguished scientist and astrophysicist.
Hey, what's up, Neil? I got like a super important question for you that I've been wondering like my whole life. Okay, is the world round or flat? Because if so, if the world is round, why isn't the water falling out into space?
Mikhail, you asked a very important question. This concept had eluded all of humanity for centuries.
So he is conceding flat. Nice.
Everyone thought Earth was flat. Why? Because it looked flat. And they posed the same arguments you did. If it was round, stuff would fall off on the other side. You can't have people standing upside down on a round Earth. Here's the thing. We thought Earth was flat before we had sea-going vessels that went beyond the horizon, recognizing that there has to be a curve there, because the ship doesn't always stay in view. So Columbus, when he set sail...
That's false. You know, that's actually false. The Phoenicians were flat earthers. They did celestial navigation over the ocean with ships. The Vikings were flat earthers. They also used ships over the ocean. What are you talking about, man?
Scientific modern day concepts are full of crap. That's what he's talking about.
There's many civilizations that use ships on the water. Egyptians, flat earthers. They used. What is wrong with these guys? Why do they really think that what they're saying is people won't actually look it up? Well, actually, you get a lot of people that just believe it.
Yeah, that's he said it, so it's got to be true. He knows he's an expert, so they believe him. That's all I get out of it. Yeah.
The ship eventually disappeared. And you can chase after him and you can keep disappearing. You can keep doing this. This would count as evidence that Earth's surface was curved.
I'm sure you remember this movie, but do you remember when these guys discussed that people believed the Earth is flat?
Well, why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet. Imagine.
And I see this a lot in movies, though. They reference flat Earth a lot. especially in movies these days, more and more.
Even as far as Deadpool and Wolverine, or Wolverine and Deadpool, I can't remember whose name goes first.
Yeah, the latest one now.
Yeah, they mention it in there.
You round earthers.
Yeah, but that's right. It says it. Yeah, you round earther. That's what he says. Yeah.
It's still the round part, though. That's what...
Of course, but we know what he's getting at.
Yeah.
You'll know tomorrow.
And just to make sure we are all on the same level, here is my bonus for you so that we can all understand that people believed in flat Earth not that long ago.
Yeah, I could stay home and scrub floors.
Hey, you stowaways.
Are you speaking to us?
Yeah, listen. There's gonna be a mutiny in a few minutes.
A mutiny?
Shh, keep your voice down. Yes, a mutiny. The captain thinks the world is around, see? But we all know it's a flat, right?
Of course it's flat. Sure, I know the world is flat.
Well, so do I. Everybody knows that.
Good. Then you're on our side. We're gonna take over the boat, throw Columbus in chains, and head for home.
Good idea. Otherwise, we'd fall right off the edge of the ice.
Think about it now. Remember, they're trying to keep flat Earth from children, okay? Why do they have it in children's shows?
Good question. And why are we going to fall off the edge, too? That's my question.
Mm-hmm. But this is why we're saying they push the straw man model.
To keep people from the
We all
truth.
think they did, but there's absolutely no evidence.
Sorry, Jeff?
I said to keep people from the truth, they instill fear.
Say it in another language. Say it in another language.
Say it in another language?
Yeah, I don't understand your English.
Really?
I'm joking.
I'm like, what? I'm going, okay.
Say it in Canadian.
A? There, I just A.
Oh, don't you know?
Whatsoever, they all thought it was round. They all wrote about it as round. The Greeks knew that it was round.
Okay, now that we established that this is not some new idea, this was in history for a long time, now let's see something from the flat Earth side. As I said, I need to consider both sides simultaneously.
You know what he could have also showed? Elvis Presley. He also said the Earth is flat. Could have showed that. There's actually many great written movies out there that are still showing flat.
Oh, I got to see that.
And then decide for myself.
Sorry?
I never heard of Elvis Presley saying that. I got to see that.
Let me quickly get it up for you. I can't believe you never saw it.
No, I haven't. That's the first I've heard of that. Doesn't shock you.
Yeah, it's...
He was in the military too at one point, huh?
He was, yeah. Well, that's hence why he came out with his song GI Blues.
Mm-hmm.
When everyone thought the world was flat, Columbus said it's round. He went down in history and America was found cause he had confidence, a little thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
One of his songs. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but you see what I was saying also about Columbus? Because they claimed, Columbus never tried to prove the Earth was round, was a globe. But you get a lot of things like this where even, like we just showed, I was Presley singing about he went out to try and prove the Earth is round. And you can see that in textbooks even, that he went out to try and prove the Earth is round. Today, they try and teach everybody, no, Columbus never thought that.
The best way to go about this is ask Columbus himself.
That's a
Go ahead, Roger. Go ask Columbus quickly for us.
Well, I was just going to say, the Earth is flat in Greek is Agiene Epipede.
Wait.
Epipete. How do I say?
E-G-N-A, epipede.
N-A? Oh, that's quite cool.
E-G-N-A, epipede.
Interesting.
So something from the Flat Earth side from an old documentary. Here is a short clip which is gonna be quite interesting. Here we go.
It's a commonly held misconception that the Earth is a spherical object that revolves around the Sun. But the fact is, of course, that the Earth is a circular dish surrounded by a barrier of ice that explorers have been attempting to penetrate for centuries. Samuel Burley Rowbottom, better known throughout the scientific community as Parallax.
Every time they say that, I think bottom. Bottom. Bottom.
He had to be a hell of a character, dude. I'd like to have met him.
Yeah.
Being a roboticist, I would cherish the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Be my mentor.
In 1881, he had published this book, Earth Not a Globe. Outlining dozens of experiments performed over many years, it quickly became the standard authority for anti-globularists. Perhaps the most significant experiments were those carried out on a canal known as the Old Bedford Level.
Yep.
Located in Cambridgeshire, England, the canal is perfectly straight over an uninterrupted 6-mile stretch. While there, Parallax conducted many experiments, all towards one conclusion, to prove that the surface of the water in the canal was indeed perfectly flat. In one experiment, a boat carrying a flag rowed from one bridge to another 6 miles away. An observer with a telescope placed 8 inches above the surface of the water found that the flag and the boat were distinctly visible throughout the entire distance. If the Earth is a sphere...
Notice I was 6 miles away. They claim at 3 miles away something's supposed to happen. So that's double the distance.
Yeah, you would lose sight of it if it was a convex surface.
Mm-hmm.
with a circumference of 25,000 miles, then over a distance of 6 miles, the second bridge should mathematically be 16 feet below the observer's eye line.
And just to give you something that's not as old as the previous one, here is a short one from mainstream media.
The curving horizon, the sloping sea level, the spin of the Earth. Unless you can see these phenomena with your own eyes, they may not be true. Unlike what we've been told in school, the Earth looks like a snow globe, round but not sphere. The North Pole is at the center of most flat Earth maps, with the ice of Antarctica holding everything in.
Alright, now let's move on to social media, and it's time to find some debate groups. Flat versus globe. And now here is the first one, which is a group description which is already weird. Look at this. The flat earthers have gone too far. Again, how?
Wow.
They have become so many and have way too much influence, especially on the young people. Again,
well, I want to know what they're talking about influence. If we're getting barred from trying to push information out there, you know, getting censored and all that, how are we the ones having influence? Go to the schools, for instance. What do they teach the children? The globe, not flat Earth.
Yeah,
the influence is not from the flat Earth side. The influence is from the globe side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this is exactly how cults operate, though. They won't let opposition get shown. I mean, just like you get these cults that say, yeah, that you're not allowed to get out of your town because and you're not allowed to look at social media or whatever. Why? Because they don't want you to see other information other than what they present. And that's exactly that. The globe cult, as I put it, is exactly that. It's just a very big, very successful, large-based cult. They don't want people to go against their religious beliefs of a heliocentric globe. Simple as that.
the idea of an intelligent mind is to be able to hold more than one thought at one time, or to consider more than one opinion, and to come to
Mhm.
your own conclusions. Yeah. So why not offer it up as like it could be this way, and let you determine it on your own? No, they want to make sure
Exactly.
you stay on the ball.
Exactly.
Same question. How do they have so much influence if they spread something that's stupid? But anyway, it's also most likely that all of them believe in several other conspiracies. Some of them dangerous. Oh, this is the group for me. Join us so we
Graham, is Rising Earth is a cult? Yes, I do agree. Rising Earth is a cult. You, by the way, you muted, PJ.
Too right it's a cult. I was just agreeing. Too right it's a cult. Man, it's Dell. Beyond the Imaginary Curve. When he first came out, he was fine. He was just doing what we did, searching for the truth. You know what I mean? Giving flat Earth proofs and stuff like that. But now he's took on board a flat Earth Society joke and elaborated on it, and a lot of people started to believe it, which is rubbish. It's rubbish.
Yeah, and how dare you talk against what he says? You know what I mean?
Of course,
You're not allowed to.
And PJ, he found the truth. That's why he does that. He's pushing the truth. I'm telling you.
Of course he is. Of course he is. Aye.
Aye.
can end this insane madness. How do you want to end this exactly? Guaranteed quality entertainment every day. Have fun. Now let me show you the quality entertainment they talk about. And here is an example of your guaranteed entertainment. And I know this is just one group example, but I found the exact same thing with all the other groups that I've been into. And it was at least 20 different groups. So this is what they post, saying that this is proof of the curvature of the Earth. And I wanted to post this photo that this doesn't prove anything, even.
Look at that. Yeah. No, this proves the curvature of Earth, guys. Perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the road looks pretty level from here. They probably
The
leveled
thing
that
is, as soon as you become an anti-flat earther, you become very, how can I say,
dumb,
stupid. Yeah, you totally forget what perspective is, any optical effects, and you become selective because you only choose that effects to happen when it suits your globe.
Do they walk through the world thinking like that? Like then they're looking across the horizon, like, oh yeah, I can see the curve from here.
Probably.
I don't know.
Quite sad.
Yeah.
Just called.
No, at this point I'm on the globe side, but this doesn't prove anything. This is perspective. This is how we see things. The further something is, the lower it appears on the sky. So this is not due to curvature, and this doesn't prove or disprove the globe. But when I wanted to post this photo, it was rejected. So this is when things getting interesting, and this is a good example from someone who posted this screenshot that basically the globe site can post anything, but
this is also one of the reasons I'm no longer on Facebook, because remember I used to do Facebook before I did the YouTube thing as well, and a lot of these forums I was also on, and I never got my arguments out there because they just declined everything you put there. They only allow the anti-flat earth stuff on, but as soon as you want to go...
Oh, Flats is flat.
Oh yeah,
Frozen.
Your mic.
No, he's frozen.
Yeah, that happened yesterday too.
Yeah, he's frozen. He'll come back. It happens a lot. He'll drop out and he'll come back in much. It's usually what happens. It drops eventually and then he pops back in.
There are still some flat earth groups on Facebook. They're few and far between, and they all like Eric Dubay for some reason. That's usually what I get off of it.
On Facebook, I joined the Flat Earthers in Christ, but it was years and years ago, and everybody seemed to talk nonsense, and they were called Flat Earthers in Christ,
Yeah. Well, when we demonstrate how the effects work, the optical effects work, they definitely want to throw that away.
There you go. And now he's got to pop back in and watch. Told you. Told you. I predicted it exactly right because it's a pattern. Like the skies, it's a pattern. I just predicted that right. I says
But it
flats.
happened last night as well. It
Yeah,
was just
that's what I
about the
said.
same time.
I said flats is frozen. I says I guarantee in about a minute or so he'll drop out and then he'll pop straight back in, and exactly what you did. And how did I know that? Because I predicted it? No, because it's a pattern.
What? Are you a prophet?
Yes, I am.
But you know
Mr.
what's
Kessler
interesting?
thinks you went to the moon, dude.
But you know what's interesting about this? It still shows internet access, and it still shows speed, my speed at 50 megabytes per second.
Yeah.
And
It's nothing to me.
yet I'm disconnected with no internet, only on Restream.
Mm.
My YouTube backlight studio is still running. That other video is still running.
Yep.
Internet still works. Just I gotta reset my Restream all of a sudden.
Yeah. In here, where it gives us the signal, it tells me I've got a 10 out of 10 connection here. But when I'm doing my own live, it flicks up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
In here, it's a constant.
Sabotage, dude. Doesn't it seem like they're sabotaging the network?
It really does. It really does.
Really weird. But anyway, what I was saying, I don't know if you guys heard me. I was on Facebook forums, and this is always the issue I had. You're not allowed to rebut anything.
No.
Everything is just anti-flat earth nonsense. And I mean, they can insult you as much as they want and say anything they want. But as soon as you want to rebut it with, to say this isn't correct, let me give information. Nope, it's taken down or it's just declined because they have so many mods that are bigots.
Of course.
That they just automatically no, you don't get accepted. So the only information being shown there is anti-flat earth propaganda.
Therefore, it's not really a debate then. It's just
No.
push their own crap.
What I used to do I would troll Simon, Dan, and Bob on YouTube and make comments in their section after they started doing that to me. And people started agreeing with me in their comments, and they got mad about it. So I got their attention. Yeah. I'll admit I'm a troll to a point.
But I mean, look at this Flat Earth Debate Forum, yet everything gets automatically declined.
Strange.
Yeah.
It's not a debate.
No.
Nope. It's a one-sided.
The Flat Earth side
Yeah.
cannot post anything. So this is really interesting, and this is what I personally experienced as well. So these groups look like they debating, but in fact, whenever you post something that supports the flat side, it just gets rejected. So with other words, this is like 5 years old people. But anyway, here is some more.
Just like 5 years old people. Yeah, exactly.
Like I say, I years ago I joined Flat Earthing on Facebook, Flat Earthers in Christ, and they really weren't Flat Earthers in Christ. Definitely not. They were the things that they were saying and that. No, I didn't believe it after that.
Don't blame me, Peach.
Examples of your guaranteed entertainment. Here is some examples from the Globe side, and basically they talk to flat earthers and they talk about them like they were the biggest idiots, which I can kind of understand. But my problem is that the way they treat other human beings is unacceptable in my opinion. And they post this kind of memes. And then obviously you have examples from the other side, from the flat side. For example, this one, NASA watching flat earthers numbers grow 700% since 2015. And Earth is too big to see the curve, but on the other side, ships disappear over Earth's curvatures.
Yeah, and that's the same thing we got in this. This was apparent with Kent's discussion last night as well, where he said Earth is too big, but then it's also refraction. They want to butter both sides of the toast.
That'll make a messy plate.
So, which also makes you think, or this one, that fence is disappearing over the curvature of the Earth. But the point is that you're not gonna get anywhere in these groups and you're not gonna find out the truth. So this was also a little bit of dead end for me. In the words of Aristotle, it is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. With other words, one of the truest marks of intelligence is being able to consider opposite ideas without immediately accepting or rejecting one of them.
And what do we get from the anti-flat earthers?
Rejection.
Absolutely.
You're just stupid.
Yeah.
And yet, what are they always priding themselves on? What's this word?
The intelligent mind, educated
Education.
mind.
We are always educated. You flat earthers never finish school. You don't do this, blah, 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 blah.
Really?
They don't know me.
My
very
degree
well.
would say otherwise.
Yeah, it's odd because I finished school with 3 distinctions, but unfortunately I never finished school.
I like what Mr. Cheswick just said. I told him that because I play his and Mr. Super Sidewinder's music at the end of my streams. I told him tomorrow he's done one in Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, and I says tomorrow's Dolly Parton's 9 to 5 at the end of the stream. He says, I thought that was the hours of your live streams, mate.
Thomas Larson. Yes, part 2 is out. We're going through that now once we finish with part 1. I actually watched part 2. I'm watching part 1 with you guys full for the first time. I haven't watched part 1. But part 2 is actually the reason I wanted to do tonight. Part 2 is brilliant.
So if we only research or think about one side of an issue and reject the other side without consideration, that's the highest form of willful ignorance. And we're not gonna do that. So we're gonna consider both sides and we'll see how it goes. So as I said, I have a lot of questions from flat earthers and I wanna hear from them. I don't want other people to tell me what flat earthers think. I wanna hear it from flat earthers. But I wanna know a lot of things. How days and nights work? How do we have different seasons? How are we floating in space? Are we floating in space at all, or it's something else? And what is below flat Earth? I want to see the edge. I want to know everything. What is it about this dome they talk about? And, you know, pilots and airplanes, how we fly above a flat Earth disk or plane or whatever, and many other questions. Satellites, how about satellites? How do they work? Where are they? And all these kind of things. I have a lot of questions and they really need to convince me with everything if they want me to believe that the Earth is flat. So let's see how it goes. And even though I agree with this quote that all truth goes through 3 stages. At first it's ridiculed, at second it is violently rejected, and in the third it is accepted as self-evident, because this is really true. But when it comes to flat Earth and when it comes to science, we need something that's observable, that's testable, that's measurable and repeatable. That's when we call it science. But interesting enough, the flat Earth side actually say that science is more than welcome to investigate flat Earth. Check this out.
Science should never, ever be worried about investigating the flat Earth. I mean, science should welcome an investigation of the flat Earth. Science is supposed to be objective, to learn, to grow. And it's, you know, as we are finding out, flat earthers are pointing out things about science that science doesn't have an answer for, and yet they still fight it.
Now, when it comes to science, most of the people believe that this is what's happening in our solar.
This is very nice. He's just actually making on for the next video, which you're going to see. But yeah, because he is tagged, and I did tell him we're going to be streaming this tonight. So, George, whatever I think his name is, I would love to talk with you, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool. He's got a small channel himself, so it'd be cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
He
And I'd be more than happy to have a discussion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's the same questions Kent asked me last night, so it's not something we haven't been asked all this time. Why does the Dolly Parton have small feet? No idea.
Nothing grows in the shade.
Really? That was so unexpected.
Aye, Graham, I get you. Anybody that doesn't push exploration is priority number 1 is wrong. Get you, bro. Get you.
Mm-hmm.
Solar system, when in reality, this is what's happening in our solar system. And when you start to look at the details here and the different speeds and the directions of the movement, that's when everything will start to get weird. So we need to investigate science and questions.
Okay, this is part 2. This is what I wanted to show, what we actually started. So, you guys ready to go through part 2, or do you want to say anything first about part 1?
No, I'm go straight into it.
Oh, no, it was good so far. I'm enjoying this, actually.
We do like this t-shirt. Fantastic t-shirt. Ice Age. Come on.
It's Disney guy, man. You know.
Yeah.
Everybody watches it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, again, please hit the likes, share the show. Only got 40 likes, come on.
I think
We're averaging on 70, 80 people at a time. I'm sure we can get double these likes, please. Would be really great. It helps. Exactly, skeptic.
I thought it was skeptic then I was like, skeptic? Who's that?
Yeah. Globers refuse to accept their science. It's a pseudo, because globe is pseudoscience. That's the issue. Okay.
What if I told you that everything you knew about our solar system is wrong? I know it's a bold statement, but once we investigate the details and the numbers in the universe, everything will start to get weird, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. So it's time to start questioning science and to challenge our understanding of the universe, and we're gonna do it right now. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
In part 1, and even though I said that was a dead end because I didn't really find out anything, but I learned a lot just by reading the posts and the comments. And one of the arguments from the globe side, which I saw all the time, was that flat earthers don't even understand basic science. So I decided that we're gonna investigate science. I'm gonna go back to the basics. We're gonna go back to school and look at all the numbers here. And I can tell you one thing. More than 90% of the information I found during this
Someone had music.
Yeah, I had that.
investigation was something that I didn't remember at all, or I didn't learn it in school. If you watch some of my previous videos, you know
What's going on the internet now?
that I always encourage you to question everything. So let's do that together. Let's go into a big investigation of the solar system and find out whether it makes sense or not. But we're gonna question science, and that will help us to get closer to the solution and to the truth, whether the Earth is a globe or it's flat. Welcome to Mystery Teachings. My name is Gergő. If you are new to the channel, then welcome and namaste. Or if you are a returning beautiful soul, hey, thanks for coming back.
Thank you, Roger Ledwell, for your $2 super chat. He says, hit those likes, please. It does help 100%. Exactly. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, man. Because it does help push a video further into the algorithm. So it would be very much appreciated if you can hit those likes, guys. Thank you very much. You are awesome. Okay.
Appreciate you. First of all, I think we can all agree that in order to be able to call something a scientific fact, we need to be able to observe it, we need to test it, we need to measure it, and we need to be able to repeat these as many times as necessary. If we are able
I wouldn't call it scientific fact. I would call it scientific validation rather than fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't think you can anything really have as a fact.
That's exactly right.
to do that, then we can call it science and scientific fact. If not, then it's basically pseudoscience. So let's just keep that in mind. My first problem with the solar system is that I learned in school that the planets are orbiting the sun, but the sun is in a fixed position. I
learned this as well. I don't know about you guys.
Me too. Me too. The sun was fixed. The sun was fixed, and we're all orbiting around it, and then the moon's orbiting around us, and then other planets have got moons orbiting that. I never knew until lately, the past 10 years or so, that the sun's actually moving as well, and everything's expanding and all that kind of stuff. It was stationary.
Yeah, I was always taught the sun is standing still, and we are orbiting around the sun and all the planets. I was never taught in school that the sun is also moving in a certain point around the barycenter.
No.
Yeah, but then I also learned that like the light isn't exactly where it was like 1,000 years ago, so that we're not in the same position that you see what we are. It's really weird.
It's false, though. We are.
Yeah. I've never felt any movement like that. I never observe it. I see the lights coming from a source, so it's obviously right there. It's not moving around anywhere. Well, it's moving around us, but it's still in the same place that it was. It's not like imaginary weird lights traveling for millions of years kind of thing. Yeah. And it's finally getting. Yeah.
I mean, we've got in South Africa, we got what we call the Voortrekker Monument. Okay, it has a very specific angle that the sun has to go through to light up at a certain time of year and a certain time of day, and it always every year it lights it up perfectly. And it can only happen if we're all in exactly the same alignment, year after year after year. How does this work if we're not supposed to be having, if we're all moving around in different vectors and stuff all the time? It's totally impossible.
So I think they're wrong about it. Let's go with that.
Yes, skeptic, I would agree with that. I think we can say it's a fact that there's zero practical evidence for a spinning glob in a vacuum. Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
We didn't know that the sun is moving as well, and we all constantly following the sun. So this is already confusing for me, guys. I didn't know this, and if you did, well done, but I never learned this. I grown up in Hungary, and in Hungary, the primary school I went to, they never told us that the sun is moving. So this is already really confusing. So this was one of the reasons why.
Well, if you think about it, remember when you got those projects here to like build the solar system, and you had them on stakes, and then you would also have like the Earth moving around and whatever. The sun would always be the center of that solar system.
Absolutely. It
would be stationary.
It's the same as in school. I was taught that part of gravity was the core. We were magnetized to the core of the Earth. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
we were taught the core of the Earth was magnetic, and that's what gravity was.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. But I was always taught, even beyond it, that the galaxy itself was revolving around the center of it. So that's what gives us the motions, I guess. But I don't think they can actually determine that from where we're sitting. The stars seem to go back in the same alignment every year. So how could the whole galaxy? Are we all moving in a sequence with each other? But you can't really tell that we're moving, kind of thing. It kind of zeroes out, just like everything else they talk about.
Yeah.
It's really
Equivalent principle.
I decided that I need to do a proper investigation and I need to start with the basics. The circumference of the Earth is 24,901 miles. So if we divide the 24,900 with 24, we're gonna get the speed of the rotation, which is 1,038 miles per hour. But this speed applies to
But just guys, pay attention to how ridiculous these numbers are.
the area of the equator. If you are elsewhere on the planet, depending on your latitude, you will experience a different speed. But the problem is that you don't experience any speed, doesn't matter where you are, even though the entire planet is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. Now guys, don't get me wrong, this is not my main issue. The big problems will come later, you will see them in a moment, but this is already weird. We all know that it takes 24 hours to make a full circle, but if you look at the speed, something doesn't add up. And I know we don't feel the speed because we are moving together with the Earth, we are on its surface, just like when you travel in a car, for example, or if you are sitting on a train, or maybe the best example is an airplane, because the airplane is really fast, and indeed you don't feel any speed. Furthermore, if you think about it, if you travel on a train, for example, or on an airplane, which is a really high speed, you can still take a bottle of water and pour it into a glass without any problem. And this is a valid argument. However, the reason you don't feel the speed on a train or on an airplane, because you are in a closed environment. You travel in a closed system. So when we say that...
But if you're to accelerate, you feel acceleration. You can't, but if you're feeling acceleration, you can't pour that bottle of water as easy. You have to play with it. You know what I mean? If you're feeling acceleration, and there should be acceleration.
Yeah, because you're going in different vectors, you constantly have different accelerated rates, so you wouldn't be able to pick it up. We don't see this.
No.
And it's ridiculous amounts of speed as well.
Exactly.
But it's also true what he says. It's also true what he says. All their examples of why we don't is always in an enclosed environment.
Graham, did he say bottle? Is he a rising alpha? It's a Dell job. That's a Dell job.
They have to have gravity to make this work, right? Their whole scenario. If they don't have that force that consistently pulls us to the center, none of the spin will work. None of the centrifugal forces will work. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's also, like I say, it's a good point to bring up as well. All the demonstrations that they bring up for us for rebuttal is enclosed systems.
True.
So because you're enclosed, you don't feel the wind, you don't feel the movement and all that. But they don't claim Earth to be an enclosed system. Earth is supposed to be open.
Yeah. Or like Craig said, small bits of matter can still go out of the system, right? Remember? How do you get astronauts out
system.
of
a closed system still allows for small bits of matter to... No, it doesn't.
No. It's a closed system.
It's stupid.
The whole universe is a closed system. Oh.
It's like saying you can close a door and, well, little midgets can walk through the door just because they're small.
Yeah, exactly.
It's right through the crack.
Ridiculous.
Really idiotic.
That we don't feel the speed in the car. Just please remember, there are people who have car sickness as soon as the car starts moving. And we only talk about 30 or 40 miles per hour, or 50 or 60, but not 1,000. And even if we just talk about the car, and you drive on a motorway, you can still pour your glass of water because you have a windscreen that protects you. You see, it's called wind screen for a reason. Now, with the train example, it's the same thing. It's a closed environment. But when you travel like this guy, for example, obviously don't try it. It's dangerous. But this guy did, and you can imagine he felt the speed probably. And when it comes to an airplane, we can definitely agree that you would indeed feel the speed if the door was open, or you would be able to open the window, just like these passengers did in this news report.
We're going to turn now to the terrifying scare in the air.
I actually saw this before. It was interesting. I don't know if you guys saw this. The guy opened the plane door just before they were landing. And they were also trying to figure out how he got it open because they pressure locked. There's no locks on those doors, but the reason it's pressure locked is because the pressure outside is not as great as inside. So the air pressure inside is causing it too much to push to be able to open it. But the guy was able to open it because they were at lower altitude, so the air pressures were about the same.
Yeah. How did he do it?
He stood up and he just opened the latch and opened the door.
Hey, wow.
When a man actually opened a plane door mid-flight. 12 passengers had to be rushed to the hospital after landing. And Gio is back with the latest this morning. Good morning to you, Gio.
Hey, Juju, good morning again. Yeah, this was an Oceania Airlines plane with 194 people on board. And let's go ahead and go right to the video now because it's just unbelievable. Because police there in South Korea say a 33-year-old passenger opened the emergency exit door about 850 feet above ground right after the pilot made that routine announcement that the plane was about to land. Now, the passenger, we're told, was traveling alone. Police have not said why he did it, but they did say there were no signs he'd been drinking. Now, once the plane landed safely, 12 people were taken to the hospital for respiratory issues. Now, the passenger was arrested, of course, and if convicted, he could face up to 10 years in prison, Juju.
Now we understand that traveling on a train.
Yeah, 10 years. For opening it. I still don't know why he tried to open the door, though.
Yeah,
Why opened the door?
It's a bit of a silly thing to do. But look, he's a 33-year-old man. Is that not just maybe one of them stories? Something for me.
33, exactly. That's
Yeah,
a lot of people was saying, why 33? A very weird. And
Hey,
then
there's
12
someone
as
else
well.
noticed it.
But also 12.
Mhm.
33 and 12 have very significant similar meanings.
Mm-hmm.
And they do this on purpose, too. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or an airplane is a different thing because you are inside in a closed environment. But the Earth is an open system. I mean, we can go out to space, right? So let's see some examples. What happens when you travel at high speed in something that's open? And the roller coaster is a good example because we go to theme parks and sit on roller coasters to have some extraordinary experience, right? Another good example is my favorite sport, the Formula One cars, because they can reach a top speed of around 230, 235 miles per hour. But the Earth is still 4 times faster, so we need something faster. So let me share my example when I went skydiving a couple of years ago. Yep, that's me in the blue. So I can tell you, when we were stepping outside of the plane, I felt the speed. And not only that, but it was a mind-blowing experience.
Yeah, I just want to ask something. When you guys fall, you feel that falling.
Oh, do you? Your heart jumps, man. If you just, your heart, it's like you're falling, your heart is gone to come out of your body and then catches up with you. But yeah, you feel it. Of course you do.
Now, when they're, for instance, in the vomit comet, okay, do you think they don't feel that falling sensation?
Yeah, of course. Of course
they do. Their reference is only closing them, so it looks like they're falling, but they're still falling. So they still feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
Shot Roger, thanks for coming, man.
Of course.
You're welcome anytime.
It might be shallow to a certain degree because they're inside, but yeah, of course, you got to feel that. You got to feel that.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Roger. Blessings, man. But yeah, the point is, it's an enclosed system.
Yeah.
The demonstrations they always give is enclosed, but the claim for the globe is open. So it's a false demonstration, a false rebuttal. It's invalid.
I mean, with a camera and a vomit comet, yeah, it look like they're floating, but it'll probably feel like they're falling.
Sorry, I'm just going to give myself some energy.
During our free fall, we reached a speed of 211 km per hour, which is approximately 130 miles per hour. And even with this relatively slow speed, I can tell you that this was one of the best experiences in my life. So there's a big difference when something is moving or if not moving. But let's put the Earth rotation speed into more context. So the speed of sound is only 767 miles per hour.
Yeah, pay attention to these numbers, guys. It's quite important.
We should be in a constant sonic boom, you know what I mean?
But I mean, look at the ridiculous amount of speed all these vectors are going.
I know.
This is nothing. The one that got me when he starts talking about the moon, I was like, I never really thought about that with the moon. But I would love to see and if Flat Earth is try to rebut that.
Because it's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Earth is 1,000, so we are spinning faster than the speed of sound, and this is what should happen with all the oceans and all the water on the Earth. But somehow our experience is completely the opposite.
Look at this. That's what we experience, guys.
You know, a mirror effect. Look at
So
that.
as I said,
That's what I say. What do we observe?
Exactly. I'm still completely stationary.
I mean, okay, let's see what the poll says. 104 views. The Earth is observed to be stationary enclosed plane. Yes, 70%. No, 26%. And I am not sure, 4%. Well, I know based on my experience with observation, definitely Earth does not move. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no observed Earth movement. There's no observed curve of the Earth. There's no observed open system of the Earth. Sorry to say. That's based on my experience. What about you guys?
No, definitely.
Yep. I've just observed everything flat, man.
Yeah.
I see people when they're driving down the street and that, and I've spoke about the Earth being flat, and they say, I'm looking at, and they say to me, I'm looking at now, and they say, hey, I can see the curvature now. Looking up at the sky, and I can see the curvature, and all that. Come on, dude.
Is not my major problem, and I can even accept this, and I don't want to stress on the speed, so let's just move forward and look at something else, the speed of the moon. So the moon orbits Earth at a speed of 2,288 miles per hour. Really? Okay, so let's put this into perspective again. The speed of a bullet can travel at a speed of 1,800 miles per hour. But the moon is faster than that. It's 2,288 miles per hour. So next time when you look at the moon, ask yourself the question, is this really shooting over 2,000 miles per hour faster than the speed of a bullet? And if it's still not crazy enough, let's not forget that the Earth rotates around the Sun and completes one full circle in a year. Now that sounds very slow, but considering that the Sun is 93 million miles away from the Earth, we need to travel at 67,000 miles per hour around the Sun, which is equivalent to traveling from London to New York in 3 minutes. So imagine that the Earth is one of these carts and the platform itself is our rotation around the Sun. And we feel nothing. And I just look at photos like this and I'm wondering what is going on. And since we travel at two different speeds, let's not forget about the moon, because the moon needs to catch up with all of this.
Yeah, this is the important part about the moon. The moon needs to catch up. Now look at it. That means the moon has to speed up and slow down all the time.
Aye.
Why would it speed up and slow down?
Because heliocentrism.
Because gravity.
Yeah.
But look how much this happens. Look at it.
Which makes everything even more complicated. Here is why. So let's recap. The moon is traveling around the Earth 13 times per year, as we have 13 moon cycles, at a speed of 2,288 miles per hour. Meanwhile, the Earth is orbiting the Sun at 67,000 miles per hour. So the moon needs to change its speed drastically in order to follow the Earth, which is also orbiting the Sun at 67,000 miles per hour. So when the moon is on the outer circle on its orbit, then it needs to speed up to 67,000 miles per hour in addition to its original 2,288 miles per hour. That's altogether 69,288 miles per hour. So basically it can overtake the Earth, and when it gets in front of the Earth, we know that the moon is 240,000 miles away, which means that...
Sorry?
I never thought of that before, ever. I never even actually thought of that. But yeah, on the outside of the cycle, of the orbit, it would have to speed up to catch up with the Earth, or else the Earth would be out in front of it and then slow down again, or else it'd bang into it. I never ever thought of that part.
Exactly, but look how it has to change speed. So The moon usually goes 2,200 miles an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it has to go 69,000 miles an hour
Yeah.
to catch up and go past the Earth.
Aye.
Then now it has to go now it has to go even faster, and then
Mm.
it has to slow down again and then speed up again.
All at the same time. It's
guys, don't you
corkscrewing.
know that there's big boosters on the dark side of the moon?
All at the same time is corkscrewing, moving away at the same time, chasing the sun.
Yeah.
Well, the sun's chasing the galaxy, and the galaxy is chasing the universe. I mean, come on.
Yep.
It's madness.
With this speed, the Earth can catch up to the Moon in just 4 hours. So it needs to get the same speed as the Earth, which is 67,000. And then when it goes back to the inner side of the orbit, now it needs to slow down to its original speed to 2,288 miles per hour in order to the Earth to pass by, right? So how does the Moon speed up to nearly 70,000 from 2,200, and then how does it slow down again from 69,000 to 2,200?
Does that make sense on a globe?
Not at all, man. Not at all. It's crazy.
Dark gravity, man. It's quantum foam. Come on.
Madness. You're madness, man.
2,000, 70,000, 2,000, 70,000. How does the Moon do that? What mechanism makes it possible? And please don't say it's gravity, because I'm gonna cry or laugh or both. But don't worry, it's gonna be even more complicated than that, and you will see the more details we find, the more ridiculous it becomes. But for now, let's just stick to this Earth's rotation speed, 67,000 miles per hour, and put it into even more perspective. First, let's see a very fast airplane, which is the Concorde. It has a maximum cruising speed of 1,354 miles per hour, which means that the flight time between London and New York is about 3 hours. Well, that's nothing, because the Earth is doing it in just 3 minutes. So the Concorde is really slow. And if we do the calculation, it turns out that the Earth is rotating around the Sun 49 times faster than the maximum speed of the Concorde. Okay, let's see something faster. Missiles. Which one is the fastest missile? I was asking Google, and it tells me that it's the Russian 3M22 whatever missile at a speed of 6,100 miles per hour. Now that's fast, but the Earth is still 10 times, almost 11 times faster than the fastest missile in the world.
Quite crazy, yeah?
So it's like a constant acceleration, deceleration intermittently, like alternate, like accelerate, decelerate. Oh, it's just madness.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still thinking of the moon.
Yeah, mystery teachings in. Awesome, man. I'm really glad you're making this series. If you are able to email me at flatzoid@gmail.com, we can have a conversation sometime. It'll be great. Awesome. Waiting for part 3. And I have shared your show out to everybody. Blessings, man.
Excellent, bro.
Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying this. I think it's really good.
Good, very good, man. Very good.
Mm-hmm. But this is like crazy insane. I mean, you're going to see it even gets more insane.
Of course.
As it goes, because it's getting faster and faster things.
It's just mad. The moon part, we often always think about the moon accelerating in orbit in the Earth in their model. But I never actually thought about the accelerating and decelerating. I never actually thought about that when it's coming on the outside of the orbit of the Earth, then it has to accelerate. I never ever thought of that. Never thought of it before.
Mm-hmm.
See, and
Thank
it
you,
goes
Roger.
against the conservation of momentum, right?
Yeah.
It does.
So, yeah, because it's constantly speeding it up and slowing down.
Exactly. So it even goes against the first law of thermodynamics, because it's just getting energy from nowhere.
Yeah.
Roger Ledwell, thank you for your $2 search. I said, all these flat lies, I am so overwhelmed, man. Lol. You rock. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it, man. But I mean, you're going to see now it's going to get even more ridiculous. It's just, it gets to such an insane amount of speed that it makes you think. Remember, the original argument here is you don't feel it because it's constant.
But it
Well,
can't be constant. That's the
you're
thing.
still able to realize you're moving. That's why I say you can take someone that's blind, okay, and they'll telling you if you're moving or not.
Yeah, absolutely. I keep saying it. You could take the smoothest car ever on the smoothest asphalt, and you could be in it blindfolded, ears all blocked up, and you just go 1 mile an hour down that street. You still know you're moving. Still know you're moving.
Yeah. But Mystery, the one thing I think you didn't bring up is if you look at tangential velocity and different vectors with the spinning movement, because it has that acceleration in different vectors, you will have different speeds. So the Earth would have different speed accelerations and decelerations pickups. So you would notice that. And yeah, the Earth would have to move faster than the moon.
And with the moon orbiting the Earth, the moon would have to go even faster than that.
Of course. I mean, like I'm saying on the outside, otherwise it's going to fall behind the Earth. You know what I mean? If it doesn't speed up, and then crash into the Earth if it doesn't then slow down. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Well, I've said that backwards or whatever, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's see the hypersonic sled track, which is this one. It travels at a speed of 6,600 miles per hour. Watch. Did you see it? Yeah, me neither. And if we look at it at half speed, we still cannot see anything. And if we look at it at quarter speed, you still cannot see a thing. And the Earth is apparently 10 times faster than this. Okay, is there anything faster than that? The fastest airplane in the world is the NASA X-43A airplane, which travels at a speed of 7,366 miles per hour. Now that's a massive, crazy speed. But if we do the calculation, the Earth is still 9 times faster, and there's only one thing that's faster than any of these, and that's the NASA Space Shuttle, which travels at a speed of 17,500 miles per hour. And guess what? The Earth is still 3.8 times faster. By the way, let me just stop here for a second. Isn't this weird? The fastest airplane is 7,000 and the space shuttle is 17,000. Now look at the two photos. The space shuttle looks like a normal commercial airplane, right? And it's apparently 10,000 miles per hour faster than the fastest airplane on the left. That's
well, you see, they would give an argument for because it's in space.
Yeah. And it has to go to that speed to escape Earth's gravity.
Well, you see, they're claiming it's like the ISS falling around the orbit. So that's why it's able to go 17,500 miles an hour.
Aye.
But yeah, I don't believe it can go that speed.
Of course.
I mean, look at it.
No way. No way. No way, man. I mean, when you were a kid, they look cool, but you look at them now, they just look like a lump.
It looks like a design they would give to a children's fair. It's like we got a special NASA competition. The one with the best design gets to win a school trip to NASA, and then they give them. And this was the class who won their design.
Aye.
Because aerodynamically, that doesn't really make sense.
No danger. No danger.
It's weird. But we're gonna investigate NASA later in our journey anyway. So we are spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting the sun at 67,000 miles per hour, and when we go out to nature on a nice day, the water is completely still. Okay, But let's complicate it even further, and this is my favorite part because, as I said, I never learned that the sun is moving. I thought that it's in a fixed position in the same position.
Look at this ridiculous amount of speeds, guys. We thought it was already ridiculous.
Of course.
And it's only the planets that are moving around it. But as I said, I had to realize that this is not what's going on, and Google tells us that the sun travels at a speed of 514,000 miles per hour. But it also gave me a different figure, which is 448,000.
Yeah, but the point is now, when you look out at the sun and you look at everything, does it look like that's how fast?
500,000 miles an hour? No.
No.
Not
This
at
is
all.
not, the whole point is none of this is observable. All of this is just, let's make the most ridiculous numbers we need to because we need it to fit into our model. There is no science behind this. There is nothing, and yet they claim science. This is all just
Concept.
non-observable. It doesn't even get into the first step of the scientific method.
No, not at all. So I'm saying it's concepts in people's head, not even good ideas either. Not even good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Miles per hour, so I think we can agree with an average 500,000 miles per hour. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's the speed of the sun, which means that at this speed you could travel around the Earth's equator in 2 minutes and 54 seconds. So, according to mainstream science, the entire solar system is traveling around in the Milky Way and completes one full circle at approximately 230 million years, which we call a galactic year. So that means that the Earth is orbiting the Sun 30 times faster than the speed of a bullet.
Insane.
Roadrunner is more real than the globe.
And guys, to let you know, if you are on a circular path, okay, even if it's constant, you still have g-forces because the centrifugal force is pulling you outwards. So the Earth is having centrifugal force of something 30 times faster than a speeding bullet.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Think of that.
Yeah.
It's craziness.
While it is having centrifugal forces in different vectors because the Earth is also rotating.
Mike Jones did a great show, by the way, folks.
I'm glad you guys enjoy it. Say thank you to Giorgo. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. I think he's having an awesome series.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun's speed is 230 times faster than the speed of the bullet. And if you are wondering, there's more? Yes, there's more, because guess what? The Milky Way too moves in space relative to other galaxies. So I'm just wondering, do I want to know what's the speed of the Milky Way? The motion that's left must be the particular motion of our galaxy through the universe. And how fast is the Milky Way galaxy moving? The speed turns out to be an astounding 1.3 million miles per hour. So at this point in my investigation, I probably experienced cognitive dissonance, which, if you don't know what is, in short, basically when you have a core belief.
Yeah, it's debatable. It's on the rate of rotation, but the rate of rotation has what we call rim velocity, so speed. To have rim velocity requires speed.
That you believe for a long time, for example, that the Earth is a globe, and someone shows you evidence against this core belief, then basically the brain doesn't know what to do, and you might experience some discomfort, stress, or you might feel anxious. Maybe you are in denial, you say this is not true, or you want to ignore the information, you can be angry. So there can be a lot of different stages, but I made an entire video about this, and if you want you can check it out in more details what cognitive dissonance is, but this is how I feel right now. So let's recap. The Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour faster than the speed of sound. The Moon is rotating around the Earth at 2,288 miles per hour faster than the speed of a bullet, while the Earth is orbiting the Sun at 67,000 miles per hour faster than anything, and the Sun is basically running through the galaxy with 500,000 miles per hour, and the entire...
No, debatable D. The centrifugal force is just the measure of the velocity. That's all. It's just the fictitious force measurement given to the pressure pushed out. But Derek, I was also wondering, since the moon goes between the sun and the Earth, okay? And the sun has a larger gravitational pull than the moon, than this Earth. Why isn't every time it goes between the Earth and the sun, it being sucked out further?
Yeah.
Why isn't
Derek
it
has a
tracking
really
further?
good point there, where he's
Yeah.
saying like a shuttle escape velocity is 25,000 miles per hour. Moon's moving at 67,000 miles per hour. Why isn't it escaping Earth's gravity?
That's true. That's actually a very good point.
Yeah.
But you see, there's so much inconsistencies about this. There's a lot of inconsistencies with the globe.
Well, see, inconsistencies and lies that have been spewed for this many years, God is going to eventually make them come to truth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of people are coming to truth, like, you know, and it's actually good to see that, you know, the more and more people are starting to go, hey, this isn't right. And that's the Holy Spirit guiding them, right? To truth.
The entire galaxy is moving at a speed of 1.3 million miles per hour. Meanwhile, here on Earth,
yeah. Yeah.
Come on, Globus, tell us again how we're observing Earth moving. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's beautiful, that place there. Wow. Oh, and by the way, that mirror image means the water's flat. The water's flat.
Yeah, it would be skewed. It's
Mhm.
exact reflection. So that's therefore no curve. Because as soon as you put any curve on any reflective surface, it skews the image
Yep.
it's reflecting on. Any bit of curve. It's not. It doesn't even have to be a big amount. It could be small, right?
Yeah, because it changes the angle of incidence.
Mm-hmm.
And that angle of incidence skews the reflection. So yeah, that's a beautiful place.
okay, I don't want to torture anyone with any more numbers or speeds, so let's look at something else. And please remember what we discussed about science. So I want to find out how can we measure or detect the motion of the Earth, the rotation or any movement, since we don't feel a thing. So here's a short tip about that.
In 1887, Albert Michelson
Shout out
and
to
Edward
ODD.
Morley conducted what's known as the Michelson-Morley experiment. This experiment was attempting to prove the speculated motion of the Earth around the Sun. And when it failed, Albert Einstein was forced to form the theory of relativity to overcome this problem. In fact, anytime mainstream science is faced with undesirable results, they create a workaround, which isn't real science at all.
Yeah, exactly. Remember when I said they do God of the gaps arguments? Because every time they find something wrong with their theory, they do a God of the gaps argument and add something to figure it out. That's exactly why we're sitting with quantum gravity today and with dark matter and all this nonsense, because they can't figure out why they're wrong. Instead of just saying, okay, well, we were shown wrong, back to the drawing board, they try and use that already established pseudo-scientific belief and just add more tails to it to make it work.
Yeah.
And then what does that have? I was just getting in the basket of will get validated one day. That's it.
Yeah. Right.
But they will push it as real and science, even though it has never been validated. Pseudoscience to the T.
I saw this quote from Einstein in a Flat Earth documentary. I have come to believe that the motion of the Earth cannot be detected by any optical experiment. So maybe the reason we cannot feel the Earth spinning is because it's not spinning. Maybe it is stationary, as Flat Earthers say. Because look at these examples, when there is some earthquake here and there in the world. This is one in Taiwan, for example. Or here is another one from a news report.
It's the iconic footage from the California earthquake. Now, the woman who desperately tried to save her cell phone when her swimming pool turned into a mini tidal wave.
I have a question about that. Why is she sitting there? Get up and walk.
It's called retardedness.
It's insane.
They're the same people that sit there and see someone getting stabbed and videotaping it, not helping the person.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Oh.
So go,
why
I'm
didn't
just
you call
watching.
the cops? Well, I was videotaping.
Yeah.
To watch them die.
There's another footage of these guys. They are in a swimming pool during an earthquake. I mean, it's mind-blowing. It's so scary.
Now you see there,
And finally,
guys,
here is one more for you from a garden.
I don't know if you realize that. Let's just go back quickly. Look at the movements of these guys in the pool, okay? This is what I was trying to explain last night to Kent as well. Okay, if you're outside, you would notice the plane flying backwards. Okay? Look at this. Now, notice there's two reference frames according to Coriolis. You got the non-inertial and the inertial reference frame. So would be on the non-inertial reference frame would be the moving Earth. So just like this guy standing recording this, he's outside of the inertial reference frame if we had to push this on a spinning reference frame. Those people in the pool will be in the air, you can say. Okay? And they're going to be dragged along with the momentum of the air. Now, look what happens when they're just going along with.
They are in a swimming pool during an earthquake.
They're swimming
I mean,
backwards.
it's mind-blowing. It's so scary. And finally, here is one more for you from a garden. And just look at the water. This is what happens when the Earth moves a little bit. But with all these crazy speeds that we just discussed, this is what we experience normally, right?
Yep.
This is normal. This is nature. And if nobody told us that the Earth is moving, we would probably never even think of such craziness. So I just want to put this quote here again from part 1, because maybe it starts to make sense now, right? And I still have more for you, because we have all these crazy movements, but here is a good example. This monument at precisely 11:11 a.m. each Veterans Day, November 11th, wow, there's a lot of 11 there, which is a master number in numerology and it has an important meaning. But anyway, the sun's rays pass through the ellipses of the 5 armed services pillars to form a solar spotlight on the glass mosaic of the Great Seal of the United States. The same time and day every single year. And also we have this crazy movement, but we have the Orion Belt, which is perfectly aligned with the Great Pyramids of Giza in Egypt. Or there's another example, the Georgia Guidestones. And even though this was blown up a couple of years ago, there was a hole inside the Guidestones, and every night the North Star Polaris can be seen through the hole. And then the more important question is, why do we have the exact same constellations seen in the night sky every...
Yeah, exactly. You see, this is what I was saying with the Fort Tracker monument earlier. You see this stone here? Also, it lights up on a certain day, a certain time of year, because it needs to line perfectly.
Yep.
How does it do that if the Earth is moving in all these different directions?
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't make sense.
Have been the same forever.
Mm-hmm.
Because the constellations, when they talk about the constellations, they are the same as they were, same back then as they are now. No change. And they keep talking about this stupid parallax garbage. It doesn't happen.
But that's why I laugh when they claim like, oh, the Egyptians used to 4,000 years ago, whatever, used to have a different polar star, Thuban or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
But yet, when the pyramids of Giza were built, they're aligned to the stars today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stupidity.
It really doesn't make sense. But yeah, actually, an argument that you made is going to come up soon, Jeff. That people don't like answering it. So about the seasons, about the stars.
Every single night. And not only that, but we cannot see any so-called parallax movement from the stars. Now, what does that mean? Parallax means that anything that's closer to you moves faster than things in the background. So the trees and the fans, they're moving fast, the clouds, they're moving a little bit slower, and then the moon in the background doesn't move at all. That's what we call parallax. This is what we should see, but this is not the case at all. We never see this. What we see is that the stars...
RH, I'll quickly show that video of what NDT says was to happen if you stop spinning when we finish with this video.
are moving around in a circular motion. Let me show you some examples.
That is beautiful. I hope the music's not copyrighted, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like the one that video. Beautiful. Look how beautiful God created everything.
I know.
How can people look at this and
So,
think, oh no, there's no God, there's no creator, it's just by chance.
I mean, that's not even looking up. That's just looking slightly in front of you, really, isn't it? I mean, that's how you see it. You don't even have to look straight up to see that. You know?
Thinking there's no God, that's arrogance right there, right? Because if you think that there's no God, that means that everything, it happens by chance, and then you're thinking that I control everything, which you don't.
That's right.
Yeah, but I still don't see how people can look at stuff like that and say, oh no, definitely no God.
Yeah, perfect circles like that? No, sorry.
That came by chance. Come on. Ridiculous.
Okay.
In the geocentric, aka flat Earth model, the stars are fixed in the sky and they rotate around us, which is basically what we see. And we will talk about the stars and the sky in more details later in our journey, but for now I just wanted to understand this. Because on the other side, in the heliocentric, aka globe model, we are shooting through the universe like crazy, so pretty much this is what we should see every night, but this is not the case, and we see the exact same stars. And apart from that, since we are going around the sun once per year, that means that every 6 months we are on the other side, so therefore our night sky should look completely different. But again,
Exactly. That's an argument you've brought up many times, and we still haven't an answer for it.
No, they keep seem to say, "Oh, well, see, it depends on where you are on the Earth." Well, at the equator, then it doesn't matter. It's always the same. Orion is in the sky every day or every evening at the equator every evening. You can see Orion. So
exactly.
how do you
I see
explain
Orion
that?
all the time. It's
Morons.
the first thing I see when I look in the sky at night time. I always spot Orion first, and then the plow. It's always no Orion.
Yeah.
This is not what we experience. And let's not forget about water, because we know that 75% of the earth is water, and all the oceans in the world are somehow able to stick to the ball while we are spinning like crazy. And our only answer to that is gravity. And we will talk about gravity in a different episode, but it's really weird and strange for me that water always finds its level. Water does not bend. The only exception when it does is the example of the Earth, the globe. It's just common sense. Water does not behave the way the heliocentric model tells us.
It doesn't matter how you spin
That's the
water,
centrifugal force.
the centrifugal force will push it away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's basic science. How do you think a washing machine removes the water from your clothes? You're supposed to be on a ball spinning 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles per hour while shooting through the galaxy at 500,000 miles per hour. That's also moving at 1.2 million miles per hour. Yet none of those speeds match anything we experience in reality. In fact, it's completely insane to suggest such a notion. Bodies of water always find an equilibrium. When they're at rest, the surface is completely flat. It's time to realize the math ain't mathing and the science ain't sciencing. You can't even make it make sense.
So how can we call any of this science or scientific fact if we cannot observe it, we cannot test it, we have no idea how to measure it, and obviously we can't repeat any of these because we didn't do a thing.
So no science.
And even though I want to believe in the globe and I want to prove the globe, when the globe site says that flat earthers don't understand basic science, well, they need to think twice. The word scientific in Latin actually means know that it is fiction. So maybe our understanding is really not complete yet. Leonardo da Vinci said that if you find from your own experience that something is a fact and it contradicts with some authority has written down, then you must abandon the authority and base your reasoning on your own findings. Now it's time for our bonus today, which is about another problem in the solar system, because if the Earth was round, we would never see Venus and Mercury.
I love this argument as well.
Yeah, certain times of the year. It'd be the other side of the sun.
Why do we see it? But the problem is you're looking in the wrong direction. Again, just like the seasons.
Right.
Night, since these two planets are between the Earth and Sun.
I've got the Sun down here. I've got Mercury represented in this first orbit, and it supposedly orbits somewhere around 43 million miles at its maximum. And then you have Venus over here at 67 million miles in the second orbit from the Sun. And of course, we've got the blue marble. We've got Earth up here in the third orbit, going around the Sun at 66,000 miles an hour, supposedly at a distance of 93 million miles from the Sun. Okay, and in the meantime, we're spinning around here. Okay, right now, the reason I got the light, I just wanted to cast a strong enough shadow. So you see, this would be daytime on this side, and it's nighttime on this side, the dark side. Okay, so I get thinking, we are out here looking this way. We're looking out that way. I want to knock the Earth out of its orbit, but we are looking this direction toward the darkness in our sky. Okay, now the question is, why can I see Venus at all? If Venus is
Because you got eyes in your back of your head, man. You think you're looking forward, but you're actually looking backwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you see in circles. Yeah. Seeing globes. Yeah.
I got a
down
really
here
good picture
in
of
its
Venus.
second orbit, we're in the third orbit, but we are.
Sorry?
I said I have a really good picture of Venus.
Exactly. I think Alan also showed I think it was Alan Orstrand. Also showed a observation once with Venus while it was daytime.
I have a picture of Venus when it's nighttime.
And it should be impossible. Like you're saying, you're looking in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Facing away from Venus right now. How come I can see it in the sky? I mean, it might be up here, wherever, but it's still maintaining this circular distance in here, inside the orbit, on the inside orbit between Earth and Sun. So why am I able to see Venus on the dark side of Earth right now? It would have to be out here to enable it to be seen. It'd have to be catching the light from the sun and being able to be seen here. If it's where we are told it is located, we would not be able to see it in our night sky right now.
So I'm a bit disappointed with the globe, and I thought it's gonna be much easier to prove it. But I'm not gonna give up. And I know you wanna hear about Flat Earth and you have a lot of questions, just like I have, and we're gonna talk about it a lot, I promise. But remember, I started this journey to prove the globe, and I still have some ideas to do that, and the next one is the photos of the Earth. It's very simple. We have thousands and thousands of real photos of the Earth taken from space, but the flat earthers say that it's just more trickery, and if you look at it a bit closer, you will realize that these are fake photos and Photoshop and CGI.
That should be interesting.
Now that sounds weird, so the next step I want to do is do a proper investigation of all the photos of the Earth. So that's exactly what we do in part 3.
That's going to be an interesting one.
That should be good, man. Yeah, that should be good. That was it. That was it.
Brilliant. So yeah, he's not a
Good.
flat earther yet, as you can say, but at the moment, with what he's presenting, definitely looks more to be a flat earther than a glober. Oh yeah, let me quickly share that video that they asked me to. It's this one.
Be disastrous. Disastrous. Because right now, here in New York, you can calculate at our latitude, we are all moving with the Earth at 800 miles due east. The Earth is rotating. If you stopped Earth and you were seat buckled to the Earth, you would fall over and roll 800 miles an hour due east. It would kill everyone on Earth. People would be flying out of windows, and that would just be a bad day on Earth. If somehow we all slowed down, so anything not bolted to the Earth would fly due east, 800 miles an hour. That's what happens to you in a car if you hit a brick wall and you're not wearing a seatbelt. You keep going. That's why you get hurt in those kinds of accidents. But if somehow we all slowed down with the Earth, then, okay, that's fine. I mean, people think, well, somehow we'll be weightless, we'll lose our atmosphere. No, it's just that you'll have really long days.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's why in the Bible where Joshua says for the sun and moon to stand still. He didn't tell the earth to stop moving.
Nope. Exactly.
Sun and earth stand still, and they did so.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Oh, that was a cool show. I enjoyed that.
That was decent.
That was
Very
good.
good. Very good. Absolutely, man.
It was good to have Jeff the whole time here as well.
Aye. But
I know, and I actually said some more words than 5.
Yeah. And he did it in layman's terms in a way that anybody can understand it. So NB coming to flat Earth, just coming to flat Earth, we'd be able to understand that. Not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good.
So, closing statements.
I think I just did.
Well, I'm definitely up for watching part 3. I don't know if I'll be able to participate when part 3 comes out, but I will definitely watch it. I need to watch both the videos because when I'm watching it through this, it was all choppy for me. So I'll have to watch it again on my own. Yeah.
Yeah. I've subbed to him, so I'll be watching out for his stuff, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think that was decent. And like I say, he did it in a way that anybody can understand it. Very good, 2 very good videos. Absolutely. He's done well to do that, man. And he's done it.
I think it's done very good.
Absolutely.
Very decent. Guys, I've released 2 more of the Christian range that I said I'm going to release. Still working on the others. But these are the designs so far.
I like that. The cross shape for
for Jesus.
The John 3:16. Yeah, it says
right there,
Jesus saves. John 3:16.
I like that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And then this was a John 3:16. For God so loved you, he died for your sin.
And that's on a hoodie there. That's cool as well. T-shirt. I'd actually like that on a t-shirt. And yeah.
But yeah, I got a lot of different ones I'm still working on. But that's practically what it is.
Cool. I'll pick one of those ones up then.
Very good.
Yeah, guys, sub to the guy. I think his channel's going to grow quite good. If he carries on with that type of content, I think he'll do well.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, yeah. Ryan? Brilliant. Yeah. Like always, awesome closing statement.
Absolutely. He is definitely a man of many words in general. But when it's closing statements, you just can't beat them.
Yes. Yes.
My links for tomorrow's stream's already in there.
Awesome. And then, guys, if you missed it, we did, myself and Luke, we did stream this morning as well. I had an awesome stream with that as well, in case you missed it. It was about Keith. What's the guy? Keith or whatever. I forgot his name. Anyway, he was arguments for the Catholic Church.
Keith
Nestor. That's it.
Yeah. I'll be covering that. Not Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. This Tuesday, I'll be covering the fourth one you did, the one you did before the Jadot one.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so the poll stopped with 124 votes. The Earth is observed to be stationary in closed plane. Yes, 70%. No, 27%. And I'm not sure, 3%. Cool. Interesting. So, yeah, guys. How many likes? We had 49 likes, and we now have 49 people watching.
And that link I just put in is the video that
I did watching
earlier today.
Awesome. And yeah, guys, by the way, there is a Rumble channel as well for PJ and myself and Jeff, if you guys want to go and go to Rumble. I appreciate all of you. Appreciate the members. Appreciate the super chats and PayPal and everything. You guys rock. I just want to say thank you to everybody. And until tomorrow, many blessings. May the pressure with you.
That's Flatzoid Rumble.
Yahweh bless.
Ta-ta.
Crafted signs of the divine. I'm made for something true. In God's plan, my path renews. Flat earth made by Him. My journey long yet thin. Purpose found in every day. Guided